Good morning, everybody. It's the Big R as usual. Today we are looking the weekend games. As you know that the Big R stands for all the positive R words: responsibility, relationship, results, resilience, and so on. So we are just going to reflect what's going to happen over the weekend and gauge based on what happened during the international. Let me welcome Roy Mkhonza, who's always with me on this platform. And then Roy, today we have been joined by Sbuza. Sbuza is a very ardent Arsenal fan. And then he just went to our YouTube channel and then left a message that he's interested. We encourage anyone who wants to be on our show, just subscribe and then just tell us that you're interested. And then we can have you. We're supposed to have Sil Londona from Bloemfontein Celtics. But as I indicated earlier in the week, that unfortunately tragedy has struck in his family. So maybe on the basis of that, we can't have him, and then I'm sure I'll understand. Earlier on, I sent him a WhatsApp and I noticed that he hasn't come back. Remember, probably they are burying tomorrow, so it's a little bit hectic. So Roy, welcome to the show. How are you doing, man?
Hi, Saubrey, and hi to Zibu.
All right. Sbu, how are you doing?
I'm doing all right, thanks. Very excited.
Are you happy with Arsenal? Now, let me tell you something. Roy is an Arsenal fan too, eh?
Oh,
you have a partner there. You have a partner there.
He knows the mixed emotions we're going at the moment. So
Yeah. Roy, where do we start? And then lead me there. Are we starting locally or are we starting international?
I think we can start with local and we close with national. With internet.
All right, you can get started, Roy. Lead us.
Yeah, I was looking at the fixtures. I think there's a chance for Panyaza's team to make it to the top if ever they beat. I think they're playing former Jagama's team. I think Suga's team. Yeah, if they win and Sundowns perhaps draws or lose some points, because that would also be an interesting game. Sundowns and Amazulu. Remember, Amazulu are inspired.
Before you go to Sundowns, let's go back to Swallows. It will be a very interesting to see whether Sundowns can emulate Leicester City. Remember, Leicester City in the Premier League, they climbed from the Championship all the way to the Premier League until they conquer the Premier League, they become the champions. And year after that, normally when the teams are just coming from the Champions League, they just always hope to stay in, avoid relegation, but it was not the case. They were competing among the best. And they lost some players, but they continued to compete. They lost their coach, and then they continued to compete. And even this year, Leicester City is doing well. And then Jamie Vardy is the top goal scorer. I hope Swallows will emulate that. That would be nice. I don't know. What's your take? Welcome, Jackie. Now we can see you at least.
Hey, thanks, my brother. The connection is very bad today here.
Yeah. Because of lightning and all sorts of things.
Yeah.
And Roy?
I check. I think the challenge on what you're saying is more on Sundowns, more than Swallows, because remember for Swallows, except for their slogan of being the best.
Yeah.
I think for them, they're still fine. They're still
Yeah.
getting the touch within the PSL. But the more challenge now is on Sundowns. The social factor. I was looking at an article where there is some talks of senior players that they may be part of the team. Pitso had earmarked some to be transferred. So Mangoba or the three guys have not actually made who's supposed to go, who's supposed to stay. So the background issues there, I'm not sure if mentally they are right, they are okay, whosoever is being called to go and perform. Like I said, they're playing a team like Amazulu. The guys just bought that team. They are motivated. So it will be a very interesting game.
Tell me, is it true that Patrice Motsepe is now the president of CAF? Is the chairman of CAF or president of CAF?
He's a candidate.
He's still a candidate?
Okay. He's campaigning to be.
Or he's still campaigning? All right. So you say some of the players, they might be lured by Pitso.
Not actually lured to go to Egypt. When Pitso, before he left, he had earmarked or identified people that will stay. He was building Sundowns to say they can't have old people, so they must mix. So it was to allow some older players to go to other teams in terms of being a loan, or so it seems like Mangoba and Steve and Mkhonza, they are sitting with a problem of who to release, who to stay. So it's that problem now.
Okay. So, Jackie, do you have a comment as far as that is concerned?
Yeah. Good evening, Mr. Mkhonza. Good evening, Dr. Tshabalala.
And then there's also Sbuza there, and others.
Sbuza, Sbuza, welcome as well. Ne?
Thank you so much.
Mr. Tshabalala, thanks, Baba. Mr. Tshabalala, I'd like to, Mr. Mkhonza raised a very important point, which I've also read about. I don't know how true is that. The allegation is that it looks like some of the senior players are not happy with the way things are being done. Especially, there's I've forgotten the name of the player. He's a defender. Apparently, he was never given his jersey. He was never told that they're not renewing the contract or anything like that, but they are loaning him somewhere else without even saying a word to him. So his agent was very angry about that. And then it looks like most of the players are not happy after Pitso left, because I also read about Mahlambi, the youngster who's 23 right now. Remember, he went to play for Al Ahly, and then Pitso brought him back from Al Ahly. So now, what is basically happening? He's been sitting on the bench for quite some time. He decided to sit at home until they call him. They must call him only whenever they want to put him to play. So there's that rumor of or allegation of tension within the team. So we don't know what's going to happen, but I personally foresee Sundowns struggling like Kaizer Chiefs this season. It's not going to be easy, especially looking at the structure that they've got. I think Pitso had his own structure, and he knew how to utilize the players that he bought. But the current team of coaches, they are good. Yes, they are excellent in every way, but hey, it's going to be hard for them. They still have to make that team to gel. And Sundowns is Sundowns with that plenty of talent. But we'll see who's going to raise their hand. But I'm still saying, Amakosi will still raise their heads. We will raise our hands, and then we will definitely make it this season.
The irony is the three of you are Chiefs fans. let's Sbuza, what's your comment?
I think I'll also comment on Sundowns, really, because now I noticed Rulani Mkhonza was just complaining that Sundowns has actually had so many players playing for the national team. So they've also got niggling injuries. So they were complaining that preparation for their game against Amazulu was a bit difficult, because when you're planning tactics, you need the players available. So there's a large chunk of Sundowns players that were on international duty or either injury. So it's going to be a bit challenging for Sundowns before, because even having so many coaches and managers is something very new. So it'll be quite interesting to see how the dynamic will actually be utilized or made use of this season. It's going to be quite interesting, because they've got a very, I'd say, opinionated coaches and with different strategies throughout the year. So to have those guys come up with something that will be emulating or coming close to Peter Mosimane is going to be quite interesting. It'll be quite interesting. So yeah.
Let me ask this question, guys. Maybe on Monday I'll be, talking to you again based on this topic that you were talking about, and so that I hear your opinion. The game should have played, and then probably you should have watched the game. But let's move on to the other team where we think we need to discuss. Of course, we'll always talk on teams like Kaizer Chiefs, Orlando Pirates. We've touched on Sundowns. We've touched now on Morocco Swallows. But I want you guys to look at Bloemfontein Celtics. Remember, we are establishing a relationship with Bloemfontein Celtics. Tell me this coming weekend, and then I want to hear your opinion as far as Marcelo is concerned. Any one of you can raise his hand. Who wants to jump in?
Okay, no, I will definitely.
Okay.
Yeah, now you've touched a very, very sensitive team. I know they are playing Cape Town City, and the game will be played on the 22nd at 3:30. Now, I've also read some good news about Celtic today. They've got a sponsorship, a technical sponsor, and which is good. And if you look at that team, there's two teams that are going to give, which are going to be troublesome in the PSL this season. I'm talking about Morocco Swallows, and I'm talking about Bloemfontein Celtic. That team has gelled, and those players, they know each other from so long. They've played with each other, and you know what? It's a very good one. But I foresee Cape Town City losing on this one. It's going to be a hard game, because Cape Town City, they've signed good quality players as well. However, with the form that Celtic has shown so far, I'm definitely sure that they're going to win the game by 1-0, because it's an away game for them.
Okay. And then you never predicted Sundowns and Swallows, but we'll come back to that one. And what's your take?
Yeah.
What's your take, Sbuza, on what Jacob has said about Bloemfontein Celtics? And now we can't hear you.
You're on mute. You're on mute, Sbuza.
Oh, sorry. I'm saying I think Celtic is also a team to look out for this season, and I'm very worrisome for them. And I don't know what's your guys' take about them taking part in the CAF Confederations Cup. Some are saying I saw there was an article about Lebogang Kukame saying it's not financially viable for them to be in that competition and take part. What's your take on that?
Well, can I answer on that, Mr. Tshabalala?
Yes.
You know what? I don't think that it's a fair comment from Kukame. I mean, this is an exposure for Celtic, and then this is an opportunity for Celtic to be able to make it in Africa. It's about time whereby even our own players, not only administrators, we must raise our hands and say, we want to go and compete in Africa. How can you become the best if you don't play against the best? You have to beat the best so that you can be able to be the best. This is exactly what Sundowns have done. And Sundowns is playing right now very well, very good football, because Peter had a plan. That plan of his, whenever he started 5 years ago, it's now unrolling itself. So really, really, I'm very happy for Celtic, and I would encourage them to play in Africa, because I don't think maybe Kukame has checked the structure right now. They are going to be paid each and every trip that they're taking. They're getting about R1 million, $1 million US. And then from there, for traveling only, each and every game, whether any game that you're taking, you get that. And then there's prizes in this CAF competitions, except your Champions League. There are prizes as well in the CAF Cup. So I'm happy that Celtic is going to take part in this. It's about time that we see our boys playing against our African brothers, so that we can be able to gauge our standard.
You know, while you're still there, let me just indicate that part of the plan, I was supposed to have interviewed the general manager, Mkhonza,
Yes.
on Tuesday. We were talking, myself and him, and he was telling me that he was busy with CAF meeting, preparing for this CAF, and late, I think as late as Wednesday, and he was still here in Joburg. So I think they're looking forward. I hope we'll be able to talk to him sometime next week and get
Exactly.
of what is happening and how things are. I don't know whether guys check the time. Sbuza, do you want to have something before? Because I want us to also to touch on Pirates and Kaizer Chiefs, and I also want to touch on Black Leopards. Those are the three teams that I want to touch on for today, which this does not mean that we don't take other teams seriously. We'll try also to touch them. Black Leopards, we want to establish that relationship with them. We want to have a relationship with all of them. Sbuza, what do you want to say?
No, I was just going to add on to that. I was also saying, I think Kukame's comments are not fair, because most of speculation is also saying there's players who are still waiting on agreements, even went as far as saying these tournaments are a bit of a problem, because at one point, apparently Chiefs also pulled out because of Indaba Zemani. So I think it's a good opportunity for the country as a whole and for all these teams to get this exposure in Africa. So I think those comments, maybe it's got its reasons, but I also think they are a bit unwarranted. So I think Celtics should fight in both ways.
Kaizer Chiefs, where they play this coming weekend? Oh, you know, when I say Chiefs, I can see you guys smiling. Kaizer Chiefs, where they play? Where they play? And
Golden Arrows.
Golden Arrows. And what's your view? Let's start with you, Mr. Mkhonza.
Let me just also give something on the on the Celtics game, on what's raised. I think for the coming game for them with Cape Town City, I predict either not or a 1-1 draw. Okay. Why I'm saying that, the current coach who has taken over Cape Town City and the current football that Celtics is playing is almost the same. So it's youngsters, it's players that have got no pedigree, known or stars. So they give it all. And the kind of soccer they're playing, it's almost the same. That's my take on that one. On the Chiefs, it's a very interesting one. Arrows has always given us a problem. Moreover, when we go down to Durban. So they've taken us to that stadium in Guamashu. So it's going to be a very interesting game. And remember the guy that always, I think is, I just forget his name, the coach that Steve used to like. He wanted to bring him a chief at some point. So I think now he's in charge of the team. So he will want to prove something to Chief.
Because, yeah.
Yes, yeah. Because it's going to be a very interesting game. Which, if we can go, if the mindset has not changed to the players, I'm not sure we're going to come back with a heavy score again.
Heavy score in favor of?
I'm saying, Saubrey, if the mind change, the mind game or mind change has not changed from the players, we may come back with either 3-1 or 2-1. But if then things have changed, let me not confuse things. Let me just say that if we not changed from what we were in the previous games, then we're going to come back with either 3-1 or 2-1.
So you would, in other words, you are going to lose this game.
Yes.
Okay, all right. And then Sbu?
I think I'll go back to the COVID-19, how it's affected football as a whole. So I think Chiefs is a Soweto giant. It's got a new manager now, but I think the lack of fans at the stadium has affected a lot of teams. I think that's why you'll see even in England, results are just upsets after upsets. So now I think Chiefs should just give the new coach a breather, a transition time, and we must just relax. But I think what's affecting us mostly as well is not having the support at the stadium, you know. At times, the pressure from the fans actually gets to the players, and you're actually motivated to go into the stadium and deliver results. But I'd say, I think this will be probably a turnaround. I know these guys are unbeaten, but I think we'll probably snatch it 1-0. I don't know if it's more of hopeful thinking, but I think something has to give, and we'll probably snatch it 1-0.
Jackie?
I think this is going to be the turning point for Kaizer Chiefs. There's no way that we're going to lose this game. I'm definitely sure on that one. We're going to win this game by 2-1. And you'll see a different kind of Kaizer Chiefs tomorrow. The boys are hungry. The boys are looking forward to the game. And even the coach is definitely looking forward to the game. The mandate is out, and we're going there for 3 points. Nothing less than that.
Nothing less. All right. Then we'll talk again on Monday. And then we'll review and reflect what happened. Now, let's look at Pirates. Pirates, who are they playing?
Pirates is playing against Supersport.
Very interesting.
It's going to be a humdinger on this one. But I can tell you now, Supersport, they're going to beat Pirates. Don't be surprised if you see the score coming up as 2-0. The reason why I'm saying that, Pirates is on top form right now. Yeah. They are attacking a lot, but now the coach of Supersport is very clever. He's going to hold the ball, call them to come, and as soon as they attack, he will just hit them with counterattacks. That's how Supersport is going to win.
It's not because you hate Pirates.
No, I don't hate Pirates. I don't hate Pirates. But if I can tell they're playing for a very good football.
Yeah.
But now they're not shutting at the back. That's what my problem is.
I know the teams that you don't like. There are two: it's Pirates and Sundowns. But
no, it's not a matter of liking or not. I'm looking at football as a whole, as a sport.
Yeah.
I don't know who's playing or who's not playing, but that's my prediction. You'll see on Monday.
All right.
I'll remind you on Monday, my brother.
And Saubrey.
Roy?
And that on that note, if you'll ask me to comment with emotions, maybe you can say those statements that because we hate them. But I'm telling you,
I was not saying you. I was saying
no. No, you were saying to Jackie, but I'm responding to that.
Yeah.
Tactically, if you watch both teams and their coaches, remember this guy has been with Supersport for quite a long time, and I'm telling you, I'll go with the same score and somebody that is going to kill them with the runs they make and what Jackie has just said now. That Mkhonza boy in the midfield is going to punish Pirates.
Is it?
Absolutely.
Okay. 2-0.
Yes, 2-0.
Okay. Sbuza, Monday is coming, guys. Don't worry. It's not far.
This is going to be a very tricky game because I think Kaitani Tembo went on, I don't know if it was mind games, but he labeled Pirates as a team to beat at the moment. But I think they're also coming at the back of a defeat by Celtics from the cup game. So I think they also want to prove themselves, and in the league they want to stay in touch with the leading pack. So I'd say they would probably edge Pirates. Pirates is to lose this one. I know they're looking very solid, very confident and compact at the moment, but I think for this one, I think Pirates won't come out on top for this one.
Score?
I think on Monday I'll be also saying I told you so.
Yeah. Score. Score,
I'd say probably 2-1. Paris will lose 2-1.
Okay. Now let's move to Black Leopards. Who are they playing?
Black Leopards are playing Maritzburg United.
This weekend.
And it's a home game for Black Leopards. My taking on this one is that Maritzburg is hungry. Maritzburg has been losing just like Black Leopards for quite some time now. But in terms of the way I know Eric Tinkler, I don't think he's going to lose this one. He will definitely win this one. 1-0.
And then Roy?
I'll differ on this one.
Mm.
Remember, Leopard did not start very well, and I think now they are fired up. Their chairman is also back in the PSL, and if it goes the way it is, I am not sure with in terms of finance now how teams take to go and prepare for games and going to adapt for. If it goes the way it is, Toyando is not raining, it's hot there. Remember the rains that were in Devon, in KZN the past days. If they will leave late and it's hot that side, they're going to struggle. I give it to Leopard, 1-0.
1-0. Sbuza?
Yeah, I think that one's going to be a goalless draw.
Goalless draw. All right, guys,
Yeah,
let's go international. I want us to start with Arsenal game. Remember, we have our special guest here. We don't have time, even if we can. Let's touch on Arsenal game. Arsenal, and also which the other game, which is the big game, Roy, that we want.
Liverpool is playing Leicester City.
Leicester City.
Yeah.
We'll touch on that one. And probably we may also touch on Man City. They are playing Tottenham Hotspur. That's another big game. And then we'll also want to go to Spain. But let's see how far we can go. Sbuza, Arsenal, what can you tell us? But before you can come in, you know what? I see Arsenal. This is what I said to Roy. They are starting to play the football that they used to play during Arsene Wenger. We start seeing the team now playing a nice football, the tiki-taka football, the football that we used to like. So probably, what's his name, Arteta has learned from Wenger. But you can give me your opinion, your analysis.
With Arsenal, I'd say I'll be on the side of the fans that I think Arteta has come in. They'll say compare his results to Emery, they're not much different. But I'd say he's brought back confidence to the club, first of all, and he's giving us an identity. So before he came in with a lot of defensive problems, those is sorted out. And then in the midfield, he's also brought in Party, which is also adding some skill and is giving good support to our defense. And unfortunately, this week, yeah, it seems he's got a thigh injury for this match. He might not be there, but I like the fact that he's holding all these players accountable. No one is guaranteed a starting place. Today, William can start on the bench. Tomorrow, no one is guaranteed a starting position. So I think they must just give him a chance to actually get the players he needs. Now he's just lacking a bit of creativity. I don't know what's happening with the Ozil situation, but I think it's actually bigger than him. Because when he came in, he was actually building the team around Mesut Ozil, but now it's just been shut out a bit. So I think we just need to give him a bit of time. But what I'm not liking about that system at the moment is because Aubameyang is finding himself playing in an unfamiliar position where he's more productive when he's playing through the middle. So now his goals have dried up totally. He's having to find himself defending more. And then Lacazette is also not pulling his weight. But also on that note, I'd say I like how the small boys are actually pushing the bigger players. I like how Keita's coming through as well. I like Martinelli is also back from injury. He's now training with the main squad. So I'm actually excited to have him back. So I think is going to help with the goals, because at the moment I think that's where we're lacking a bit. So overall, I'd say we're rebuilding. It's a rebuilding process. So people shouldn't expect too much too soon. So they must just let him go about his business, and then I'm hoping for the best.
What's happening with Ozil? Quick one.
With Ozil, I think that the matters with the board, because remember when Arteta came in, before the lockdown, the team was playing with Ozil most of the time. They actually based the team around Mesut Ozil. So I don't know during lockdown if it was the salaries issues or what happened. But now it wasn't even drafted into the squads, whether it's the the Europa or the league. He's not involved. They just shunned him out.
Okay.
So I think it's an issue more with administration more than the manager himself.
All
That's
right.
my
Roy, your input?
Yeah, the Ozil issue has just become the background politics. I'm not sure if the last time I even that thing that we had to give his jersey to that it created some tension. So I'm not sure about him. But on what Zibu is saying, I think he's talking about what we talk about, Saubrey, that we're actually finding our kind of game. We build up from the back, midly, and then, like he said, he's spot on. The two guys are not giving us something, because you're now asking yourself whether he's fine being a main target man or playing coming from the middle or as a winger. So there's a long, but I feel, yeah.
Okay.
So I feel, but on this one, Leeds started very well, but their form is just going down. I think for this one, it's going to separate men from the boys. I'll give it to Arsenal.
Or
2-1.
2-1. Let's go to Liverpool quickly, because you are interested in that one, because I see that the time is against us.
Jacob, you want to say something? Liverpool.
No, I want you, Roy, because that's
okay.
the that you wanted to touch on.
Oh, okay. It's going to be a very interesting game with Leicester City. You've just spoken about their target man Vardy being on form, and they'll want to prove something. You know, everyone, if you are what you've been speaking about, being champions, and then you want to maintain and everything. So every team that comes to you, they just want to prove a point. So it's going to be interesting. I detect a draw for the day.
I see Liverpool is struggling now. It's not like they used to, and Van Dijk destabilized them. They're having problems. I don't see Arnold doing well as used to. Even Robinson is struggling. They seem to be struggling the way I see Liverpool. And then I think that 7-2 really destabilized them. It really destabilized them. Now, Man City and Tottenham Hotspur. Jackie, what do you want to say about that one?
Yeah, well, I think on that one, it's going to be a big one as well. It's going to be very competitive. But looking at the way Man City is picking up points at the moment, I think they will play a draw, because Tottenham Hotspurs as well, they are definitely hot. I think their coach, he knows exactly what to do, and then he knows exactly what to do at what time. So I'm definitely giving them a draw on this one. A draw at least of 1-1. That's what I can give on that. But hey, Mourinho, you know that gentleman, he knows his story. He knows his story very well.
Well, and then the good news for Man City, Guardiola has just renewed his contract. And now,
absolutely,
from the grapevine that now their target is Messi. And I doubt they'll get Messi. That's my feeling. I doubt they'll get Messi. Font is starting to talk the right noise to say you can't do anything without Messi. Messi's everything. Messi is the beginning, Messi is the end. And then I saw uncle of Anthony Griezmann destabilizing the team. I wonder, how can your uncle do this? Starting to say Messi selfish. You know, we watch football. I see Messi passing Griezmann more than Griezmann passing Messi. That's what I see in most time. And Messi was a little bit angry yesterday when he landed. That all the time, you guys want to bring my name. And I understand. I think the strategy is very simple. They just want to destabilize Barcelona. And then the campaign is huge. They want Messi to go to England so that he can play in England. So that's my take. That's my take. And now they're trying to destabilize the team. And then I saw Koeman today was saying he's untouchable person. He's what is his name? De Jong. And now all the time they'll always bring Messi's name. It's not Messi, the untouchable. I don't know, you know, and I think Barcelona, they need to be very clever in dealing with these things. And then I see Font again, the guy who's campaigning, went out and said they made a mistake by signing Griezmann. And Griezmann is very angry that, you know, why this guy is saying this. And he might be the president, apparently he's leading now as we talk. Those are some of the things, you know, it's politics, big politics. You know, one might say it's just football, but it has its own things. It has its own politics, you know. So I don't know. They say Man City, they'll be gunning for Messi, but I doubt they'll get Messi. More especially if he formed. I don't think they'll get.
On that note, I'm also surprised because